welcome to Safe Plays. Tonight I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. I haven't played this one on stream for a while. Not sure where I left off. I think I left off pretty close to the beginning. 3/3/2018. Play line 3 it looks like. Only 13 minutes in. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to run from the enemies at the beginning. .2 hours, 1.2 hours, that seems about right. Load that save game. I'm gonna start on the horse, I bet. I'm playing with max settings, graphical settings, and streaming. We'll see how smooth it is. Looks pretty smooth. Yep, I'm on the horse. I might fail this a few times. This part's actually pretty hard. Where I'm going. Go horse, go.
Left. Talmberg is to the left, along the stream. Yeah.
Come on, horse.
Run for it.
Poor guy, he's probably gonna get killed. Looks like I stole one of their faster horses. I'm still getting shot at.
Flee!
Run, people, run!
Yeah. Yeah.
I slowed down for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horse is complaining.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to gallop anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I made it.
Oh my God! Wait! Jesus Christ! Help! Skeleton's been attacked! Do something! Help! Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose! Hajo, Hosenkinder!
They're turning tail!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Lord Divish.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? Were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground, but a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Do everything. Loading, loading, loading. Why does it take so long?
happening with that blacksmith?
He sent his apologies, sir. He can't come tomorrow. The soonest he can manage is before noon the day after tomorrow.
Well, I suppose it can wait another day. Tell him to come then.
This looks really nice in here.
Oh, God. Eat. Food.
I hear you came from Scarlet.
What?
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Kitchen.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss. Ah, milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bojena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Eat the food. How do I open my inventory? It's been a while. Not Y. Is it X? No. Is it B? No. Up? Yeah. That's map. No. Down? Yeah, down on the D-pad. Food, lentil mash, lentil soup. Nourishment 8. Let me just take the rest of this food. So apparently he can eat a lot of food. It's not just one meal to get him full stomach. It has to eat like 3 meals. Why?
Fled from Skalitz? How did you manage that?
Can I talk to you?
It was a fine sunny day until Sigismund came with his army. I saw him sitting there with his red beard and proud posture as he gave the signal to attack.
Oh no.
We all ran towards the castle for shelter, but they were too fast for us. They slaughtered everyone they caught and torched their houses. I barely escaped, and they murdered my parents.
The Lord have mercy. I'm terribly sorry. May the Lamb of God comfort you.
Lamb, delicious. Oh, I think I'm overnourished. I'll be clumsy now. Good thing I'm going straight to sleep, I think. He's sleepy. Where am I going? Should be right here. This should be it, I'm guessing. Yeah. Stamina and eloquence will gradually decrease. Sleep. Five o'clock in the morning? 10 hours of sleep, that's not bad. Oh, something's happening. I forgot about this part.
Today the patrols will be double. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir. Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you, but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
I'll tell the story.
I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible
That's a
and unexpected.
great
The
camera
day started
angle.
just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it.
Where did Henry go?
Only Kunish had no intention.
Oh,
of
he's
paying.
over there.
It got a bit heated. as
Why
I
is
said,
he over there?
But Kunish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzik. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzik himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz. Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one human after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him, cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother, and he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
I needed a horse.
I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king, and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Leave the food. Leave the food.
I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Oh, my cat wants up. Oh. Come here. There you go.
Move in, people! Come on! Come on! Running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! You can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son. Don't be a coward. Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Gateway stairs. Ooh, are these coin purses? No, of course not. Torch. Recharge by holding. Okay. Alright, I can change my outfit. Do I have anything for outfits? Nope. I can level though. Oops. Agility. like any of these. What's first aid? Oh. Scout's probably the best one there. Oh, I can get another one. Oh, I can get one of these now. Increases the time you can do without sleep. Your energy level falls 1/4 more slowly. Oh, I can't pick it. Strength. Carrying dead or unconscious bodies won't cost you any stamina, and they will burden you only half as much. Blocking an opponent's strikes with your shield will cost you 30% less stamina. I do want to carry a shield. I want to get mule. Hmm. %30 less damage from falling. Do I want to be a light armor character? Hey Tova. Henry's doing okay. I'm leveling him up right now. I don't know what to do with agility, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Bleed slower. That sounds important. Oh, I can't get any of those. Oh, I can't get any of these. This game is really pretty. Are you having trouble sleeping?
But don't be daunted by their numbers. Heed my commands, and all will end well. Hey, you men down there. Tell the people outside the walls to prepare for attack. Quickly, do you understand?
Hi, Robert. What's going on? Oh yeah, I guess I don't need to talk for him.
It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it?
The scouts Jivish sent to Scarlets to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Good luck to you.
Oh, that sucks. Bad captain.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robard?
Sir Ansig. What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzig, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank
Is
God
there
for
a
this
siege?
tempest. When it
No,
began,
not in this
Sigismund's
place.
Tatars
This
crawled
place
to their holes,
you
and
start
they
in
stormed
got
the
burned to
castle
the
from
ground,
over their
and
head.
you
We
run
were
away and
scat right
warn
under their
this
noses.
place.
The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense, and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is
Which
that boy
ones?
still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet!
Oh.
I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a troublemaker right there now!
Henry's kind of dumb. Oh, see, the no survivors thing, they made it into a
Sort
castle
out the watches between you as always.
before
If I
the
catch him
town
out
got
cruising,
burned
playing
down,
dice or slacking off. I'll personally break every bone in his body.
and
I want
apparently
you to
they
keep a close
snuck
eye
out
on
of the
everything
castle by
nearby.
a secret
Sigismund will
entrance
surely have
or
sent
exit
spies, and likely men as well, to follow the Skalitz people, now he knows they've
in the
fled.
storm.
Keep your eyes peeled, and report everything to me at once. Understood?
If that makes sense.
Henry!
Henry didn't make it into the castle, so he had to run away from the place, and he warned this place that there was a giant army over there. No, no double agents.
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch at the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow.
He's smarmy.
Splendid. And don't worry. I'll tell the men to relieve you later.
I'll be with you.
Keep watch on the battlements. Okay. I can do that. You see the pig icon? Oh, it just disappeared. I had overeaten earlier, which makes me clumsier. Yeah, I haven't gotten to the weapons training yet. I don't know how long I have to watch on the battlement. They are some nice looking rocks.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
Just wait for something, you can skip time, press whatever, and wait until morning. Okay, is it morning? Hello? What counts as morning?
God be with you.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk managing to slip away like that?
I can't imagine how they did. The more I think about it, they was either blessed, or Sigismund's mercenary army ain't up to much. When you're on campaign, you keep watch no matter how much it's pissing down. If any of us make such a cock-up, Sir Robard will flare his skin up our backs.
You only say that because you never saw them attack.
Aye, well, it's a shame your folks couldn't be saved.
Is Sir Robard really that tough?
Tough? Aye. But he's fair. He's a veteran of many a campaign, so he knows warcraft.
I believe it.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, maybe another hour. Okay. Where am I going?
Let's go! Let's go! Move it! Quick! Go! Go!
The Outer Bailey. Me too.
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Scallis and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markvart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markvart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Ratzik Kobila, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzik of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzik is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that Sir Ratzik
Yeah,
Kobila
he
is not
does sound a bit
Talmberg,
young.
and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzik Kobila is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Henry mad. Henry's not really smart, and sometimes he does stupid things, but the other characters are really interesting.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
He's stupider in the beginning of the game, too. Bury your loved ones in Skalitz, talk to Sir Robard, and get a horse. Okay? Come here, Sir Robard.
God be with you.
Sir Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Sir Robard, my parents died there. I can't leave them to be eaten by dogs. What would you do in my place?
Sorry, lad, but I won't take orders. You'll have to wait until everything
Oops.
settles down, and maybe your lord will change his mind.
Reputation lost.
Why did Sigismund burn down Skalitz and then come here too?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take things into their own hands and eliminate anyone who doesn't share their view. Unfortunately, Sir Radzig is one of those. And what's more, he was sitting on a pile of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
King Wenceslas's allies.
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Gutenberg, well, I'm just a simple soldier, but the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed, but it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had his fingers in the whole affair. Him and Wenceslas's cousin Jobst. And that cabal helped him abduct the king.
So then why did Sigismund attack Kuttenberg?
Why do you think?
Because it's a fertile place with full granaries that could feed Sigismund's troops?
That's not it. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory, built Prague into a proper royal city, while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favored it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed two birds with one stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
Where did these Cumans come from anyway?
I don't know much about them, only what the Chamberlain said. That they came to Hungary from the east and settled there. They're godless barbarians and merciless fighters. The nobles used to say the Hungarian king shouldn't enlist them, because they dishonor our rules of warfare. But when there's power and money to be had, it seems that honor isn't worth my spit. And believe me, it's always about power and money.
Okay, bye.
Lord, watch over you.
Chicken, chicken, chicken. I forgot fall damage is like super, super sensitive in this game. Oh shit. So when you have stamina, the yellow bar, you don't take health damage. You just lose stamina. This happens in combat too, but once your stamina is low, you start taking health damage. But you use stamina for attacks and blocking and stuff like that. Can I steal a horse? What happened to this horse? Horse? This was my horse. Oh, it had an arrow in it. Oh no, that counted as stealing. Okay, nobody saw me. Oh, I'm overloaded now. What do I have that's taking up so much weight? Oh, the saddle. Oh, that's locked. I'm in a private area. Oops. I forgot how to get out of this place and go to Skalitz, so I'm just gonna wander around. Nice room. Yeah, I did. Oh, this is pretty cool. I mean, I don't really like the whole god stuff in this game, but it makes sense for the era. I guess it's no different than playing Skyrim and having like that guy in town shouting about Talos all the time. Lockpick easy. Out of my way, guard. Somebody's dragging something. Oh, hey.
God save. Can I help you with anything?
I would like to ask your assistance, my lady, if I may be so bold.
What's the matter, lad?
I need to get out of the castle. Your husband is keeping me here by force.
Why, for the love of God, would you want to leave the castle?
My lady, I know you have a good heart. I can't live with the thought of my parents being left in the mud to be food for stray dogs. How can their souls find peace until they rest in hallowed ground?
My dear boy, you'd risk your own life to give them a Christian
He's
burial?
stupid and she's stupid.
My heart goes out to you. I will do what I can to help, though I tremble in fear until your return. But what can I do?
If I could just get past the guard at the gate somehow.
But you can. If you wear a proper suit of armor, and if he can't see your face, he won't recognize you and he'll let you go.
Good thinking. And where can I get the armor?
At the armory?
Where's that?
In the gate tower. But the soldiers sleep in other places around the castle too, and you might find armor nearby.
Might have
It's
to pay a
rather
bribe.
embarrassing, but if I'm to pay a bribe, I need money. Unfortunately, I don't have any.
Well, how would you? Don't worry your head about it. This should be enough.
Thank you, my lady. I will repay you, I swear. And I'll certainly ask where I'm going.
You could tell them Sir Robard sent you to Ujitz to ask the parish priest how the folk there are faring.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Thank you, my lady. I must go now.
May the Lord watch over you.
Wow, look at all the heads on the wall. All the antlers. Can't even talk to Sir Divish. How do I get out of here? Dead horse. I feel so bad. That horse got me to safety. Sithis. Okay. The Lord is now Sithis. Hello. Is this the armory? Stable master. I don't think jumping off the bridge is a good idea. I think I would get out of town that way, but I would probably die. Debella? Okay, let's go for Debella.
That's putting it mildly. I can't do it with the sauce because it gives me that.
Oh, I'm sneaking. Took a shield. I'm a bad person. Lockpick very easy. Lockpicking, as I remember, was... Oh, I don't have a lockpick. A hoe in? Yeah. Let's do that. Why is everything locked? There has to be some armor just lying around. Do I have a weapon? It looks like I have a weapon, but I don't see it in my inventory. Oh. Yeah, I do. How do I get onto that side of the screen? Sir Radzig Kobila's sword. Uh-oh. What's Sir Davis doing up here? It's gotta be from somewhere else. Another locked door. Chamberlain, do you have armor? No, I can't talk to you. I bet it's in one of those chests. Maybe I have to wait for the guards to go to sleep? But there should be guards asleep now, right? It's locked. That looks like clothes. But I can't pick them up. I think that was the armory. See the quest mark goes right in here. Yeah, I'm right at the quest mark. Oh shit. I'm fine. Maybe I have to find a lockpick somewhere. Yeah. Where would I be if I was a lockpick? Let's go talk to some of these people. Do you have a lockpick?
Good health to you.
I need to get out of here.
And I need a feather bed with a comely wench in it. But it looks like we'll both be disappointed. Sir Divish gave orders not to open the gate, and you especially are not to be let out.
Look, I have to get out of here to bury my parents. I'd reward anyone who'd help me.
Haggling works both ways. I don't understand this.
Reward, you say? Only, if I let you go, everyone will know what happened, and I'll be for it. Now, if you can make it so I've got an excuse not to recognize you, then we'd be talking.
What am I supposed to think up?
How should I know? Maybe some disguise so I could say I didn't recognize
So I
you?
still have to find a
If
guard
Talmberg
uniform.
soldier turns up all kitted out properly, in armor and a helmet, then of course I let him go. That's obvious.
All right, I'll have a look around for something. Is there someone here who trades in goods?
Hungry, are you? You should go and see the cook. She's good-hearted, especially if you come with some coin. For anything else, you should see a fellow called Votava. Folk aren't too fond of him. He's as
Votava.
surly as a wet cat. But he can get you just about anything. I saw him by the granary. You'll recognize him easy. He looks like he's never had a decent meal in his life.
God be with you.
Did he actually take my money? Where is my money? Oh, I don't think so. Votiva village. Where's the granary?
That's what them foreign soldiers do, and worse.
We do nothing of the sort. Where did you hear that nonsense?
Did you see them horrible foreign soldiers? Them with the strange clothes and iron masks on them.
Are you? No, you're a villager.
Anyway, you said yourself.
Nothing to worry about. And we can always come and take shelter here at the castle. Anyway, you said yourself you don't.
Villager. So what does a granary look like? Cabbages. Maybe it shows them on the map. Oh, I just took falling damage again. I can't find him. Okay, Tova. I hope you get some sleep. Yeah, it is really pretty. I bet that's him. Found him.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
Bye bye.
Take care now.
Lockpick. I have to find the sweet spot. Shit. Let me look up how to do this. Because lockpicking is hard. It says it's at the top. This is the top. Hard, hard. Apparently you can choke a guard and steal his armor if you kill him. Apparently using the mouse is easier. I don't have a lockpick now. Where is the save I just did? It didn't save. Alright, 627, 627. Great. It's using my savior snaps, but it's not saving. Oh, it says Talmberg. I think I just wasted a saver shops in that game, but that's okay. I'm loading this one. Alright. Shit. Alright. Can't sprint while overloaded. What am I carrying that's overloading me? 40 horse meat. Got that from the dead horse. I didn't realize it would be that much horse meat. I have to... Apparently, this is a known bug. And Elena is supposed to be alive. Let me see if I can get out of the city at least. And people are saying it's an optional objective.
Good health to you.
I need to get out of here.
Says who? I've never seen you before in my life. And that's odd, seeing as how you're wearing our colors.
I'm Sir Robar's messenger. He's sending me to Ujis to find out if Sigismund's army has been giving them trouble.
I might believe you if I knew who you were. Who the hell are you?
Maybe a few groschen would keep you from worrying about things that don't concern you.
That's not worth the bollocking I'll get from the old man. But count yourself lucky. At least you won't be going off to get yourself killed.
I need to sell things.
be with you.
How do I sell
Can we
things?
trade?
If you've got the coin.
I'm gonna go pick up all that horse meat. If I get 1 groschen per horse meat, that's 40 groschen. If it works like that. I like how he actually goes and picks up stuff.
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
No, it's if you've got the coin this time, my friend. Sell horse meat. Oh yeah, I only get 4 groschen for that.
I need to get out of here.
Says who? I've never seen you before in my life. And that's odd, seeing as how you're wearing our colors.
I'm the one who pays well for not asking stupid questions.
Oh, alright, alright. Good luck to you.
Flee the castle and get to Skalitz. Right then. Where am I going for combat training? Oh, I have to progress the storyline a bit. Great. Oh, which way am I going? Skalitz. That way. It's too bad my horse is dead. Objective failed. Get a horse. Quest completed. Run. Okay. Guess I made it to Skalitz anyway.
Looks like they've already gone.
Being stupid is Henry right now. A big rose. Stealing bread off a dead person. Awesome. A looter.
Who's there? Hey.
Stab, faster, weaker weapon strike, lock on an opponent, unlock, block.
Answer to my prayers just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone. Jesus Christ! Bring it up! Quitting? Go!
I got someone. I have 46 out of 74. Nothing he's wearing is worth that much. Pear and a pretzel. Bread and a carrot. hair is gonna go bad. Can't loot that one for some reason. Bandage, dried fruit. That's good. Crushing. I guess stealing from the dead is not the most noble thing to do. I'll take that stuff. Take some bread.
Sweet Jesus. It's a charcoal burner.
Charcoal burner had some pretzels.
Hey! No.
Okay, they're just gonna run. I don't think I can catch them. Would like more bandages, now it's nice.
What's that? Who's that? Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter. Come here, Billy little. Boa, yeho!
Hunter's gloves, flake coaters. Hunter's gloves are worth a lot. Noble's shoes. Let's wear those. How much do torches weigh? 2 pounds. That one's almost used up. Is this the right way around? Doesn't seem like it. Can I jump through here? No. So I'm guessing I have to take this road. Guess I go back in the way I left. This is where we stole the horse. Yeah. Stop, but I can't save, so I'll stop when I get to a stopping point. It's time to write. This is blocked off? How do I get in Skalitz? Oh, cat on the mouse. Can't jump over this wall, but I could over here. Alright, there's a dead horse. Maybe I'm on the right track.
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you? Fucker.
Ooh.
Here.
Mercy kill. Bandage. 3 bandages. Nice. Where was that bludgeon thing? Can't use it. Nourishment 92, energy 59, still.
Bailiff. He didn't run like me. He died with a sword in his hand. You stood by his side and he did this to you. In the end, you were a hero. You didn't run away. Didn't abandon him like me.
So rainy. Where's Bianca? I guess that's her.
Not you. It wasn't supposed to be you, Bianca. I'll find the bastards that did this to you. I'll find them. I swear it. Just wait a moment. I'll take care of my parents, and then I'll come back for you. I won't leave you. I'll take this as a keepsake to remember you by.
Maybe I'll sell the ring. Yep, they're dead, Henry.
Why did you do it to me, Father?
Do what? Die?
Why? Why did you leave me?
Not like it's his fault.
Forgive me for everything. Next time I won't run. I'll never run away again. I'll find the one who did this to you. I remember his face. I'll find him.
And he doesn't say anything to his mother.
I have to find the shovel and take care of you. I remember you told me you wanted to lie beside Mother. Here. Under the linden tree. At least I can do that much for you.
I think there was my cat meowing. Is that saving the game? I don't think that saved it. Find a spade. Oh, there's the spade.
Get away, you mutt! Get away, you beast!
What's going on? Vishak? What in God's name are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing? Digging turnips? The beast just went for me.
Isn't that Mutt the butcher's? And isn't that body the butcher's?
Yeah, that's him. What's that got to do with anything?
Okay, fade to black.
I'd say the poor creature is standing guard over his master. You weren't trying to get to him, were you?
What do you care what I'm doing? What are you doing?
Came to bury my parents.
So bury them and leave me.
Would you lend me that spade? I have to dig a grave. I can't find another.
What's it worth to you? I see you have a fine sword. I'll gladly trade you my spade for that. How did you come by it anyway?
My father forged it for Sir Radzig. It's my duty to deliver it to him. It's not for sale.
Go right ahead and dig that grave with your sword. See how that goes. And where will you dig it anyway? Here? You're not going to lay your parents in unhallowed ground, are you?
Father said he wanted to be buried here, and I can't take them to St. James's. God willing, later I can find a priest to consecrate the ground. Do you know what happened to Teresa from the men? When I fled, the Cumans wanted to... They meant to violate her. God knows what else.
No, I don't know. What do I care? They probably raped her and killed her like all the others. Her misfortune. Right
They
now,
do
I've got
this
to
a
endure
lot.
myself.
How did you manage to get away?
How do you think?
I ran.
I see a cunt remains a cunt, no matter what the situation.
Lost your way.
That's right. Turn tail and run, you bastard.
That's right. Give me that spade.
Easy there, boy. You know me. A good master won't be leaving this.
I took his stuff. Oh well, good dog. He might try to come back at me. Where were they? Up here? Over here? Wow, I guess I dig the graves next. In the rain.
This is a good place. You're gonna like it. So, let's get to it.
Time to haul some dead bodies. All this with an injured leg.
Damn it all.
need some help? Is that him?
Yes. Can't you see the sword?
Who are you? What do you want?
Zbyszek? Who do you think we are? Franciscan brothers? We're here to rob you of everything you've got. Especially that fine blade that's of no use to a peasant like you anyway.
Banish the thought. It is my father's sword.
You mean him? I don't think he's gonna be needing it anymore. Listen here, boy. You hand over that sword, I might just let you go. If not, you're in for a family reunion you really don't want.
Leave me alone.
Kill him, Runt! Aye, cut the bastard down.
As you like. Could have just cost you a few teeth.
Ah!
Oh boy. Fuck. That was fast.
I told you how it would end. You should have listened to me. This is nice work. The chief is going to like it. It's new, isn't it? And now, for the maiden bloodletting. Surely your father never would have imagined it would be your blood.
It's killed blood before. Or
I think
had
there's a
blood
word
before.
for such moments. The old man would certainly know. But I'm just a common killer. Did you help make it? No doubt you did. Such miserable luck. To die by the sword you helped forge.
Hey, go fuckers! The games are over.
There went my sword. Now we get the opening credits after 5 hours of gameplay. Save your parents. Can't tell what's going on. This is kind of annoying. Well, where are they? This is really... Oh, I have a quest mark. Okay, that helps.
Do you need some help?
Henry! There's work to be done. Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Henry, can you hear me?
Get up, Henry. Wake up. It's a new day.
Henry, can you hear me? Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Teresa?
You still have a fever. Uncle won't be pleased, but you'll have to stay in bed.
Where am I? In Skalitz?
We're at my uncle's mill in Rattay. I didn't know where else to go.
What happened?
You don't remember anything? I suppose that's not surprising. I found you in Skalitz after those bandits attacked you. I thought they'd done for you, but you were still breathing. Why in heaven's name did you go back there? It was madness. They slaughtered everyone who didn't run.
My parents. I wanted to bury them. I had to...
Don't worry. I took care of it.
Thank you.
Any good Christian would have done the same. Now sleep. You need your strength back.
A few delirious days later.
You're awake.
Good morning.
It's near midnight. You've slept all day.
Oh. Oh, I feel like a horse fell on me.
The beating you took was worse. But at least the fever's broken.
How did you manage to save me?
You were lucky. I was in Skalitz and I saw Zbyszek and his thugs. I tried to distract them, but it would have been no use if those soldiers from Talmberg hadn't arrived. They were searching for you and scattered the bandits.
What in the world were you doing in Skalitz?
Waiting to die.
What?
They killed my brothers, my family, my friends.
They're all dead.
All of them. Everyone I ever loved. They killed one of my brothers in the mines.
After that, what did I have to live for?
Don't say that. There's always hope.
No, there isn't. But it doesn't matter. I'm a different person now.
Searching for me?
Yes. Lord Divish sent them, led by Captain Robard.
So tell me, why is a lord of such high standing interested in a blacksmith?
Sir Divish promised Sir Radzik he'd look after me. But as for why they should care, I've no idea. Oh, I'm exhausted.
I'm not surprised. I'll bring you water and something to eat. In the meantime, rest. You're still very weak.
And even later.
Good morning to you. How's the invalid today?
Ugh, haven't felt as good as this since they lashed me to the wheel and quartered me on the town square.
Got your sense of humor back. You must be better. My uncle will be glad to hear it. I had a job persuading him to let me bring you here. If you'd lain around much longer, he really would have dumped you on the town square. You can stay until you find somewhere else to live, but my uncle will want payment for taking you in and caring for you.
And this is your uncle's house?
We're in Ratay Mill. My uncle's miller Peshek. He took me in, and I talked him into taking care of you too.
I've been lying here long enough.
Uncle will be pleased he's one mouth less to feed. But are you truly well enough?
Well enough to do what has to be done. Where can I find Sir Radzik?
He's in the lower castle in Perkstein. He's a guest of Sir Hanush of Leipa. But someone like you can't just walk up bold as you please and demand an audience.
I know Sir Radzik, and I didn't bring him his sword as I was supposed to. I must see him.
If you insist. But you need to speak to my uncle first. You've been in your sickbed for over a fortnight while he paid the apothecary to tend to you, and for medicine. That's a good deal of coin you owe him.
I've been lying here 2 weeks. My God.
Better a fortnight in bed than an eternity in the grave. If it weren't for my uncle, you wouldn't be here at all.
I owe you both my life, and I'll repay my debt. You have my word.
All right. But before you go to town, you should eat something. You're still weak. There's food on the table for you.
Game saved. Nothing in my inventory. Alright, this is a good time to stop.
A word with you.
And thanks for watching. It was a good 2.5 hour stream. I gotta get to work now. But I'll stream this again sometime later. Goodbye.